Today we are going to be reading about air masses. And one thing to keep in mind as you read is to always highlight important information. You will see that I highlight as I read, so make sure you do the same thing. And one tip I have for you is to review the questions in your packet before you read. And then as you're reading, highlight what you think might help answer those questions. And then go back and actually answer them. So I already highlighted the caption for our photograph here. So what do you think happens when air masses meet? Now just look at that photo and think, what's an air mass? You might not know what an air mass is, but looking at this photo, what assumptions can you make before you read that caption? And in the caption it says, when cold and warm air masses meet, a distinct boundary forms between them. The denser, colder air mass may slide under the warmer one and lift it up. So this causes the weather at the boundary to become unstable, and when this happens, stormy weather may form. So use that information to help you answer that first question on your reading. And I'm going to keep going. So when air moves over different surfaces, so for example, cold mountains or warm ocean, it takes on the temperature and humidity or moisture conditions of that area. Because of this, air separates into massive pockets called air masses. So I'm going to highlight that. That sounds important. And we have a bolded word here, so that's a big hint that that is a definition for us. And an air mass is a large bulk of air that has the same temperature and moisture content throughout. So I'm going to highlight that as well. And it can extend for hundreds or thousands of kilometers. Now would be a good time to maybe go back and look at your questions and say, okay, there is a question here that says, what is an air mass? And then again, keeping these other questions in mind. Once formed, air masses may move and carry their weather conditions to another area. So for example, air masses that form in northern Canada are cold and dry. Air masses that form over cold oceans bring cold temperatures as well as moistures in the form of ice or snow. Air masses from the Gulf of Mexico are warm and moist and bring clouds and rain showers. Air masses from the southwestern United States are warm and dry and bring hot temperatures in the summer, but little rain. So just keep those three different temperature examples in the back of your mind. I'm going to highlight this here that says, once formed, air masses may move and carry weather conditions throughout another area. I'm not going to highlight this whole paragraph, but those examples are good to keep in the back of your mind when you're comparing areas of different climate like Canada or the Gulf of Mexico. Air masses are classified into 4 groups based on the temperature and moisture content of the mass combined with their location over which they originated. So I'm going to highlight that. Sorry, I'm having difficulty clicking here today. Here we go. Air masses that originated in warm regions are described as tropical and abbreviated with a capital T. Air masses that originated over land is described as continental and abbreviated with a lowercase c. And I just realized I skipped a sentence, so I'm going back up one. Air masses that originated in cold regions are described as polar and abbreviated with a capital P. And then I'll skip the sentence I just read. If the mass originated over a large body of water, it is described as a maritime and abbreviated with a lowercase m. Maritime air masses are more moisture in them than continental air masses. The abbreviations used to describe air masses are combined into the 4 main masses. So again, keeping those abbreviations in mind, I could highlight the whole paragraph, but I'm just going to highlight down here these bullet points because those seem important to me. So remember that uppercase, lowercase, continental, polar, and tropical, and other things like that. And that is it for our reading today. Go ahead and finish answering the rest of the questions in your packet, and then you're all done.